Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Marvel. That's right, the MCU is going strong. Obviously, this year they had a very strong year. Captain Marvel, Spider-Man Far From Home, and of course, Avengers Endgame destroyed the worldwide box office. I mean, I think all three of those are literally in the top five of the year, or at least the top seven, maybe. Look, it is fascinating what Marvel has done for the last 11 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 11 or 10 years on their slate. Already, the next 2 years alone already look great, and I can't wait for them. I can't even decide which ones I'm the most excited about. Not only their slate for films, but their slate for Disney Plus. And of course, if you haven't heard, they're also canceling some of their pre-existing series that Kevin Feige had no hands in, because now that he has taken over the television side, or is beginning to take over the television side, he's canceling the shows that he had nothing to do with. And it looks like those shows, unfortunately, shows like Daredevil and The Punisher are now going to be ignored, possibly, most likely. Same thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and The Runaways, which was just announced that the third season will be its final season. Some of these shows I haven't seen, some of them I have. But for the most part, it just makes sense that Kevin Feige wants to get rid of them because, yeah, he had no hands in them in the creative process, and it would be hard to fit those shows into continuity, specifically because of the way the films run. And now that he has more control, more oversight, it will probably be easier to sink them in, and with a better budget, because if you've seen The Mandalorian, that shows the kind of budget these shows are going to have. A really healthy budget that will make them stand really nicely next to the films. And that's what I think the Marvel films are going to need, especially if they are going to be considered canon inside the MCU. Now, obviously the only show that gets a free pass in all this is Agent Carter, because the writers of the Captain America films and the last two Avengers movies, Marcus and McFeely, they had a hand in helping up with Agent Carter. So Agent Carter is going to be the only free pass, because guess what? They snuck a character from Agent Carter in Avengers Endgame. If you watched Avengers Endgame and watched Agent Carter, you know who that character is, which was a nice little cameo for fans like myself, who did watch a lot of these shows. So the question now comes, with all these shows and movies coming in the next couple of years, we only know the next 2 years. Next year doesn't look so bad. We're only getting 2 movies and a show. So that's kind of like the 3 movies kind of like we've been getting, because let's face it, these shows are going to be treated like movies, so that's going to be cool. But then starting in 2021, we're going to get 4 movies and 3 shows, right? So from my understanding, that's how it's going to work. So we're going to get, in 2020, we're getting Black Widow and the Eternals, along with Falcon and Winter Soldier, somewhere in the middle of both of them. And then in 2021, not only are we getting Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, not only are we getting Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, not only are we getting Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland returning, not only are we getting Thor Love and Thunder, but we're also getting the Loki series, we're getting WandaVision, and we're getting Hawkeye. And then 2022, we know those other 3 series, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and the other one. I forgot what it is right now. But look, it's stacked, of course. When you look at that 2021 alone, it's already stacked. And lots of people are wondering, well, is this going to get tiresome? And I'm going to say this. No, it's not going to get tiresome, and I'm going to tell you why. People have been saying superhero fatigue for so long now. So long. Ever since X-Men The Last Stand, which came out in 2006, people were always talking about superhero fatigue. Clearly, with the likes of the Joker and Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home and Captain Marvel, superhero fatigue is bullshit. When you make good movies, people are going to come and see it. Some people might get fatigued because those people weren't really fans to begin with. That's the reality of it. People who say they're fatigued aren't really fans of the property, so they want to try to go with the bandwagon with other people saying that, well, I'm getting tired of these. Well, then you weren't really a superhero fan to begin with. Maybe I shouldn't say that about everybody because maybe to be fair, it is a lot. And I'm looking at the slate of shows and movies. I already have a lot of shows that I'm watching, and a lot of them are superhero related already. And now to stack all these ones onto the list, I'll admit it is getting really crowded on my plate. It is hard keeping track with all of it. And I want to keep track of all of it because I do love the MCU. I also love the Arrowverse, right? So I watch, and those are many more. At least with these MCU shows, they're going to be like 8 episodes, so that's a good amount. With the Arrowverse, I'm watching already 20 episodes ish a season. Um, right? Arrow is on its 8th season. Flash is on its 6th season. It's already getting it's crowded for me. I'll admit, and sometimes I do feel that weight of like, man, that's right. I have to watch this episode this week or that episode. It does get a little weight on, but I think if you really love the things that you love, you'll stick with it, no matter how hard it might seem sometimes. I do admit it is better. I do like shows now that really have shorter seasons. That's why I'm really happy with The Mandalorian right now. You can feel 3 episodes in, it feels like it's going really nice. The episodes feel really tight, and I know the MCU shows are probably going to be like that too. That seems like Disney's model for making these new shows exclusive for Disney Plus. Plus, they're characters that I really enjoy and I want to see again. The thing that I like that Marvel does, though, is that you don't have to watch everything they do in order to follow what's going on in a film that you are interested in. So, Kevin Feige came out obviously last month or something and saying, for you to understand the Doctor Strange movie, you're gonna have to watch WandaVision and Loki to follow what's going on. And I guarantee you, they say this about a lot of things, but I guarantee you, aside from Infinity War and Endgame, I don't really think you really need to follow a lot that has been going on. I think you can pick certain characters that you really enjoy, follow their paths, so that way at least you understand their story into the films that are going on. And if you followed enough, I think you get the gist of it. I don't think you needed to watch the Ant-Man movies to primarily understand Infinity War and Endgame. But if you did, that's a plus for you. You understand the loss that Scott Lang lost in Ant-Man and the Wasp when you meet him in Endgame. But primarily, all you really needed to follow were the 6 main Avengers. That's the focus of those 2 films. If you follow, and most people have been following those 6 characters. So they do it in a way where it's interesting, where you do have to follow certain things, but not necessarily all of it. And I'm sure they'll be smart enough to find out, because they know the general audience doesn't care. And if they want the general audience to come and see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, or even better, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I'm sure they're not going to force the general audience to watch WandaVision and Loki if they don't want to. I think Loki's going to get viewers because people really like him from the Thor movies and from the first Avengers film. I think people are going to watch WandaVision if they are interested in knowing more about Vision and Scarlet Witch. Same thing with Hawkeye. I'm curious on how the Hawkeye series is going to go, because Hawkeye has obviously been some of people's least favorite Avengers. I am someone that's interested in it, and I'm sure if word on the street gets out, people are going to be interested in checking it out too. Will probably, if word says, this is the Hawkeye you've been waiting for, people are going to check it out. And I think people should calm down a bit. Look, sooner or later, Marvel is going to get their first bomb. in the box office. I don't know when. I hope never. I hope they keep this track record going. But one day eventually, they're going to have to. There was a time people thought Pixar was inevitable from making a bomb, and they eventually did with Cars 3. So, or even before that, I think Brave didn't do so well. The Good Dinosaur also stunk in the box office. So they hit a couple of bumps in the road themselves. So it's inevitable that Marvel will one day do it. But look, let's those of us that are fans, let's not worry about it. That's for the studio to worry about. Let's just enjoy what we can for now, while we're on this high of these really entertaining films that most of us really enjoy. And the ones that don't enjoy it, well, don't worry about them. Clearly, they did not help make the success of what Spider-Man: Far From Home and Captain Marvel were. Because if you look at those two movies alone, the fact that they both managed to make $1 billion each is pretty incredible. I think that really is the core fan base of the MCU. And I think the end game on how much it made just shows the power of what the MCU could be when the general audience is in on it as well. So who cares what people think? Let's just enjoy it. And look, if we get tired, we get tired. We can't watch everything, and we'll let Marvel know with our money and how much we view their content on Disney Plus. But for now, all is good. I'm not tired of it. Give me more, even though I have so many other things to watch. If I have to give up something, maybe I will. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it until it happens. So, with that being said, comment below, guys. Leave down your thoughts on all this madness. I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, especially if you're a huge fan of superhero movies and shows and Star Wars and animation. I love Disney and Pixar. And many more things out there that I really do love that I probably will talk about it if I happen to. So with that being said, until next time, take care.